We travel to see the world, to hear the sounds of amazing places, and experience the sights with all our senses. But what if you journeyed to one of the most scenic points on Earth and couldn't see the view? Or stood next to a waterfall and couldn't hear a sound? Would it still be worth the trip? Join us as we venture from the Colorado River to Africa's Victoria Falls, from the Hawaiian Islands to the sights along the Inca Trail.
Feel, Alicia, right there, that's the cross.
And meet extraordinary travelers who turn adversity into opportunity, challenge into wonder, where there are no limits when it comes to accessible adventures. People like Eric Weihenmayer. He's a world-class athlete and mountain climber who's been blind since he was 13.
How sad.
But that hasn't stopped him from exploring countless destinations around the world. Eric has climbed the highest peak on every continent, including the granddaddy of them all, Mount Everest.
People have told me if you can't see, why do you climb? You know, you can't see the views. And with that attitude, I think, well, why even get out of bed?
All right, so this is where we are now. This is the headquarters of the park. Yeah.
Over the next few days, Eric and his friend Jeff Evans will be enjoying Colorado's great outdoors. Jeff is good company, and more importantly, he's a great pair of eyes. Eric may not see the places he visits, but he feels them in different ways.
I can sense space when it's to the right or to the left. I can hear it, actually sound vibrations moving. But also I'm relying on Jeff to give me specific directions about tree limbs and rocks and things like that. So it's a little bit of a combination, relying on yourself, but also relying on your partner.
The next disabled traveler is hoping to find high adventure and some helping hands in the Peruvian Andes. Her name is Alicia Jeans, and she's been totally blind since birth. Along with 17 others, Alicia is traveling the famed Inca Trail. Final destination, the stunning ruins of Machu Picchu.
I thought that it would be an amazing opportunity to try something new. I hadn't done a lot of, hiking / camping, so to work with a team like that and really build lasting friendships, those were probably the main reasons why I decided to go to Machu Picchu.
Nestled more than a mile high in the Peruvian Andes, Machu Picchu is known as the lost city of the Incas. Alicia is here with Global Explorers, a non-profit group that specializes in international immersion trips for students and teachers. Anyone's welcome, whether disabled or not.
I'm sorry, Paul.
It's all right, man.
Speak up there.
I was trying, but you turned the other way.
Blind people, when they get older, they go deaf too.
Oh, okay.
One of the expedition leaders is Eric Weihenmayer, the first blind man to summit Mount Everest.
Paul, feel my hands. Okay, I'm pushing it in.
Yep.
I'm getting it to the top,
Yeah.
and then I'm gonna turn it. Just because you're disabled, it doesn't mean that you don't have the same dreams, the same sense of adventure, the same spark as anyone else. It's just that now a part of your body doesn't work like an able-bodied person's.
The trip begins in the ancient Inca capital of Cusco.
Well, we spent a couple days acclimating. I could feel it a little bit. After that, I was really okay, and I didn't really exhibit any symptoms of altitude sickness.
Okay, hold on. What do you want to do?
In general, we were all okay.
Over the next 10 days, Alicia and her fellow travelers follow the centuries-old Inca Trail. The sighted students lead the way, using bells to keep them on the trail.
you know, if you're on a trip like this, it's vital to have a team that works well together.
You can come right a little bit. There you go. You feel the sand to your right.
Teamwork is very important. If I'm hiking behind someone, I really, really would appreciate it if, you know, they would tell me if there's going to be a 300-foot drop a foot to my right.
The Inca Trail once stretched across the South American Andes, connecting the far-flung points of the vast Incan Empire. Trail use is strictly limited. Only 500 people a day may enter the main stretch to Machu Picchu.
I loved the challenge of it and how, since I hadn't done very much hiking before, I was a bit uncertain when I showed up as to, you know, whether I would be able to make it to the end and whether I was in shape enough.
See how it goes up, Alicia, if you reach higher and Andrew? Now feel Alicia right there, that's the cross. Go up and Andrew, if you reach out.
Alicia can't see the ruins around her, but she can feel them, hiking a path first used 6 centuries ago.
Yeah. Do you feel that?
I'm standing on the highest point of our trip, on top of a cairn, on top of a pass, which is about on top of a mountain, which is about 15,100 feet in elevation, and it's quite cool.
Being there and knowing that this place was so ancient, you know, the Incas had built it so long ago, that sense of such a rich history surrounding the city was really, I think, its defining feature for me.
Along the way, the group pitched in to help local villagers paint a school.
Do you have any idea what you're doing?
No, I'm bad at painting. Well, I've done it before, but I'm not good at it. So I hope I don't, you know, destroy this school building.
For those of us who are blind, we can't always just sort of rely on somebody to come over to us and say, hey, here's a paintbrush, here's how you do it. You really have to step up and get yourself engaged.
This is about painted, really.
It made us feel a little bit more connected with the people there, and being able to interact with the local children gave us a more personal view as to the culture of the area. It's always good to give something back when you can.
The journey to Machu Picchu is as inspiring as the destination itself.
I mean, you can listen to the music being played and feel the wind and the rocks under your feet and hear the empty silences when you're up in the mountains.
When Alicia and her fellow travelers finally arrive at Machu Picchu, they're exhilarated.
Wow, it got sunny up here, guys, when you come through here.
Very good. In the sun gate.
It feels like no other place on Earth.
We just came through the sun gate. Take a step down. Down below, it's right there, is Machu Picchu. Couple steps up. You can see Machu Picchu from here.
Well done, everyone.
And then when I got to the sun gate, you just turn this corner and you're standing in the sun gate and you can feel, you know, the rays of the sun just hitting your face and everyone's with you and the whole team is together. That was an amazing feeling.
Archaeologists believe Machu Picchu was once a palace resort for 15th century Inca nobles. Lush terraces lead up to the complex, and a giant stone sundial sits in the center. It's now the perfect place for historians to learn more about the Incan culture, and for tourists, like Alicia, to re-examine modern life.
You know, it's important to be willing to step out of your comfort zone a little bit. And the earlier you learn that, the better off you're going to be.
For visitors to Colorado, the Rockies offer breathtaking views and the chance to enjoy the great outdoors. But few would consider this landscape accessible for someone who's disabled.
Smears in your feet. It's not one of those desperate cracks where your feet are swimming all over the place.
Eric Weihenmayer, who is blind, loves the challenge of rock climbing.
All right, so I'm gonna tie in.
Yeah, right there.
Eric has tackled Mount Everest, along with the highest summits on every continent.
Okay, so what kind of anchor you got up there, Sport?
A good one. Right there.
His climbing partner and friend, Jeff Evans, will help guide Eric from the ground.
Life is a lot about taking risks. It's not about taking crazy risks. It's about taking calculated risks. You know, risks where you kind of prepare and you trust the people around you.
I got you tight.
I'm scanning the rock with my hands. I'm trying to find footholds and handholds.
There's a tiny little feature out on the left that you're gonna want to use your left foot.
And as I'm pulling up and my arm's bent, I'm scanning for my other hold with my next hand. So yeah, it's a super intense process, and you know, you really don't have room to think about anything else.
There's a hand crack coming up, out to the left.
Yeah, when I'm rock climbing at my ability like that, yeah, I'm giving everything I have. And that's what makes it fun.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, sir.
Just like more than 20 million Americans with disabilities, Eric can still travel most anywhere he's fit to go. Here in the Italian Alps, this breathtaking setting is the perfect backdrop for the No Barriers Festival. A one-of-a-kind event for people with a range of disabilities.
We're outside, and I'm loving it.
Through symposiums, interactive clinics, and an equipment fair, participants gather from all over the world to learn about cutting-edge assistive technologies. More importantly, it's a chance for scientists, manufacturers, and users to network and share ideas.
We are showing a GPS which is tailored for blind people because it has more speech and braille output. It gives precise descriptions of intersections and where things are in terms of left, right, or distance. Okay, 27 meters, so we're close. Now it says in a voice, arrived at destination, so it's probably this building here. What this technology means is that a blind person can independently find whatever they're interested in, a department store, a bell tower, a restaurant. It doesn't tell me about beautiful women or anything like that, but that's our next model.
Technologies like these are helping revolutionize the way disabled people travel.
I think travel for a person who's disabled can be a very intimidating, chaotic experience. But if you can master the systems to stay organized, to orient yourself and to navigate, yes, it's hugely enabling. It's a great sense of freedom. It's almost like you've broken through a ceiling and you're feeling the sun on your face. You were the team. Good. I'd be...
In a place as beautiful as this, the temptation to climb Italy's spectacular mountains is too hard for someone like Erik Weihenmayer to resist. He's joined by two other expert climbers, Hugh Hare, a double amputee, and Andy Holzer, who's blind, just like Eric. Together, they're going to tackle a 1,000-foot rock tower.
It's honestly not about pushing yourself as hard as you possibly can and doing the hardest, scariest things that are out there. It's really about stepping out into the outdoors, you know, to feel them, to hear them, to sense them in whatever way you can. And as you do that, you sort of define what you're comfortable doing. You define the risk that you're willing to take in your own life.
Anyone can take the vacation they've always dreamed of, no matter what challenges they face.
Great.
Blazing a trail that defies limits and inspires others, turning their very lives into the ultimate adventure.